using stake or feature on there, the tipping feature, to artificially boost music streams, which sounds kind of weird. But anyways, I'm gonna get
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up?
Yo, what up? It's Amaje back here in another video. Today we're about to be reacting to the Adin Ross and the Drake fucking Rico. That's crazy. But the video is by Maury, and we're about to see what's going on and why they are getting, well, never mind. You can see why right there. Stake.
is a bad day for Drake and his partners over there at stake, including Adin Ross. We all know who Adin is. According, and this is very bad for him, he's been hit with a Rico. A Rico is basically like a criminal case where the head honcho, you know, the leader, in this case maybe Drake, and his little peons below him can all be swept up on criminal charges because they're a part of a quote-unquote criminal organization. This was, I believe, a law created in New York City for the mob and other crime families and organizations, because typically the head honcho would, you know, have his little goons. Pause. Goons used to be a different word. Goons used to have a completely different meaning, but basically they would let
Yeah, I'm with him on that, bro. Goons has literally just become the most weird shit ever. I caught myself saying that shit in past videos, calling them people gooners and shit. You know, other way to describe it.
their goons, their little minions, do the dirty work for them, kill somebody, rob somebody. That way they wouldn't get pinned with a crime. Essentially, they would be untouchable until Rico came into effect. And basically, from then on there, if you hired someone to do the dirty work for you and law enforcement could prove it, you were pretty much catching the same charges. So with that little explanation out the way, Drake has been hit with a Rico lawsuit over alleged gambling scheme with stake. Additionally, other outlets via the Rolling Stone say Drake and Adin Ross used online casino money for artificial streams, lawsuit claims. So apparently he was using stake or feature on there, the tipping feature, to artificially boost music streams, which sounds kind of weird. But anyways, I'm gonna get
Which sounds kind of weird, but he accused Kendrick Lamar of botting streams for Not Like Us. Bro, oh my god, this nigga is such a hypocrite if this is true. I'm not saying this is true because this is just like accusations right now and they could just bring it to court. If they got the, you know, legality to prove this in court, then I'ma just be like, this nigga's a hypocrite. But if this is true, this nigga, Mr. Abby Graham, you're a weirdo.
to this article now from Complex. They say Drake and Adin Ross are being sued over their promotion of stake. The federal class action lawsuit, as reviewed by Complex, was filed in Virginia on Wednesday, December 31st, so for the new year. It claims that the website is operating as one of the largest and most profitable illegal online casinos since at least 2022. And guys, I'm not entirely sure about that. I thought Stake was a verified online gambling website. I wasn't aware that it was quote-unquote operating as one of the most profitable illegal online casinos. Like, isn't it just one of those websites where you can gamble and play games as long as you submit your ID? Again, this may be a mischaracterization of the company from the plaintiffs. They say plaintiffs Lashana Ridley and Tiffany Hines allege that stake misleads consumers while allowing real money wagering disguised as virtual currency play. The platform supposedly advertises that it does not, and I quote, offer real money gambling, and that, and I quote, no purchase or payment is necessary to participate or play stake games. And if so, that is crazy, because I was under the impression that people were uploading real money to their accounts via a debit or credit card and gambling. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That's what this stake is about, no? They also say, and that it provides the ultimate social, safe, and free gaming experience. So you're telling me Stake was marketing their platform as some kind of free gaming experience this entire time? Because if so, holy shit, they might just end up going down. I'm not gonna lie. But the article,
You know, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty smart because you already know YouTube and all those other strict ass rules prevent you from like gambling. Wait, I don't think they did this on YouTube. Never mind. Scratch that. You know, all these other people like that gamble on stream literally can get by. That's a pretty smart plan.
goes on to say, but the complaint says these statements are false because users buy gold coins that are always bundled with stake cash, which can be cashed out 1-to-1 for US dollars. Interesting. So this is a little elaborate scheme. So they may be selling gold coins, right? Like actual gold coins backed by US dollars in some kind of reserve somewhere. But like they say, when they purchase a gold bullion or coin, it sneakily comes along with quote unquote stake cash to avoid legal liabilities for gambling online, which may have prevented them from actually marketing themselves on various websites. Because I'm not entirely sure if you're classified as a gambling website with real money if you can advertise on places like YouTube or Twitter. Huh, that is interesting. How that
Oh, okay, okay. So they not actually on YouTube and everything. They just advertising and they pay these weird ass clippers along just to slap their logo on it and, promote their website. Bro, these clippers were making so much fucking money. If state goes down, they could be down in the drain. Only thing probably gonna be left is those weird ass Twitter things that can pay you for them lying. Cause you already know they got streamers and a whole bunch of shit for lying.
That possible loophole exists. And I'm pretty sure these guys have made billions of dollars by now. Like, I think Stake is worth like $10 billion at this point. And of course, I believe like Stake has lobbyists, like they lobby on their behalf. Every successful $1 billion company does that, right? To make sure politicians don't look into their company, right? You gotta grease the pockets of people in power. That's how that works. If you want to stay in business, that is. Not always, but oftentimes this is the case to keep people off your back. Anyway, they say Drake and Ross are characterized in the lawsuit as, and I quote, zealous and I quote, paid promoters of the platform with incentives to mask the true nature and extent of their conduct. So this is how Adin Ross got filth fucking rich off of streaming. Makes sense. It actually
I mean, well, shit, obviously, bro. I mean, there's like no reason he just like came into streaming. Because I mean, streamers make a lot of money, but you gotta be like hypely up there. But like, this nigga has a lot of money, my nigga. Like, I'm not trying to glaze this nigga on how much money he got, but he has a lot of fucking money, and this explains where all that shit came from. But like, not many people thought it was just like, Stake paying him to gamble and shit. Stake, sponsoring him, Kick, sponsoring him, giving him partial ownership or something like that. But like, this is how he made a gang of money, and it explains it all now.
makes sense. I always wondered how Adin Ross got so rich. Huh. Stake has been likely paying Adin Ross hundreds of millions of dollars since their inception to promote the quote-unquote free gaming gambling experience that they have on their website. In any case, the article goes on to say the two have engaged in live-streamed gambling, wagering large sums of money that was provided surreptitiously by Stake, meaning in a very sneaky or sly way as to go undetected. Read from an excerpt of the lawsuit. In other words, though Drake and Ross purported to be gambling with their own stake cash, it was in fact provided to them by the house. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, I already think gambling is a scam in and of itself. Even online gambling, offline gambling, I mean, casinos in Vegas, Atlantic City, Miami, or wherever else casinos exist. Bro, it's just no, it's a scam. And if you start to win too much money against the house, they will literally ban you from casinos just for being good at the game. It happens all the time. They don't mind you losing a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, taking out a loan from your house and destroying your entire life. They will gladly take your money. But as soon as you start to win, as soon as the tides start to turn and you're winning hundreds of thousands of dollars, they're gonna ban you. So in all honesty, I think
Yeah, I can't do that. This is why like gambling is like the number one addiction. Well, one of the most number one addictions in the damn US as it is. It's too many people trying to focus on getting rich and seeing other people getting lucky, and it's not ending up working out. This is just what it is, and shit. Like he said, I seen that story of that guy before. He won a whole bunch of money and got banned from a casino. I mean, it's a smart thing to do from the casino, but it's bad publicity. But people are gonna still go there anyway.
casinos should just go out of business because there's just no way to operate. That's weird. It's fraudulent activity and I don't like it. If you want to take my money happily, you should be willing to lose your money happily too. Anyway, the complaint also claims Stake's internal, and I quote, tipping system was used by Drake, Ross, Adin Ross, and Nugan, I think how you pronounce it, to move large sums of money, including a public $100,000 tip between Drake and Ross to fund, and I quote, artificial streaming botting to create fraudulent
Whoa.
streams of Drake's music. Oh, wow. So, to my understanding, the money that
Okay.
Drake or Adin Ross may have been getting from Stake may have been used to buy bots for Drake's music. I mean, that wouldn't be shocking. I mean, pretty much all artists use bots or have used bots in the past, except for Taylor Swift, because, she's Taylor, and possibly exclude.
Yeah, bro, but this makes Drake look bad in particular because you had a whole lawsuit trying to sue like UMG for doing that. Oh, quote unquote doing that. Well, they probably did it for your music so many times. Like, I think it wasn't the part of just botting. I think it was a part he just felt tender about like losing the beef and that song was just everywhere.
The weekend because he's the weekend. But yeah, they say this was in an effort to fabricate popularity, disparage competitors and music label executives, distort recommendation algorithms, and distribute financing for all of the foregoing while concealing the flow of funds. Wow. Both plaintiffs say they lost money after being misled and seek damages, penalties, and an order stopping the conduct. Drake, who reportedly signed a $100 million endorsement deal with Stake in 2022, was also named as a defendant in the two Stake-related lawsuits, both filed in October of 2025, just days apart. Ross was also named a defendant in the aforementioned October lawsuits. He responded to the lawsuits during a live stream, calling them effing bullshit.
L fucking mans. Guys, there's nothing to talk about regarding the title, regarding what's going on with Mess. You guys can look into it. I will tell you guys this. Read through the case yourself. It's fucking bullshit. To me, it seems like somebody, if you guys can see what Asmongold said, because someone sent that to me, it's literally true. Like, just watch the Asmongold thing. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
So yeah, Adin Ross basically says this is bullshit.
Anything Adin Ross literally says nowadays, you think people go trust? Like, come on, bro. Except for his fanboys, but like nobody's gonna trust what you say. But like, this is just crazy. This probably getting all the old little Ovi hoes and they feelings now. They play like Drake. Oh no, Drake bought it, bro. Because that's what they call Kendrick Lamar fans, K-bots. But like, bro, I mean, I don't know what the fuck they gonna call y'all, OVO bots, OV bots, something like that. I gotta come up with a better name.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? I think basically what this boils down to is two disgruntled employees that were basically scammed. I don't know why Stake didn't inform their employees that they allegedly, possibly, reportedly are running some kind of fraudulent gambling website that you could actually lose real money from. I'm not entirely sure how their business model works to the T, but I have a basic understanding now. Basically, they sell gold coins or gold backed by US dollars bundled with Stake cash, of which you can use to quote unquote gamble for free. But in reality, you're actually still using real money, although not directly for Stake cash, but indirectly by buying gold and being packaged with Stake cash. Pretty neat loophole, technically not illegal. Kind of reminds me of what they used to do in the music industry, which is now banned, like selling merchandise bundled with, I think, vinyls to boost music sales. I think Travis Scott did it, The Weeknd did it, Drake, and I think even Taylor Swift did it. And I think Billboard or one of these other music number counting agencies banned it because they saw the finesse. And
Oh my gosh, bro! Bro, even before this shit even came out, everybody seen nothing was ever good from, coming from gambling. Everybody seen nothing was ever good coming from Stake itself. But like, we talking about a whole gambling site, like. Shit, nigga, everybody in that field is shady, but I didn't expect this shit from Drake, but I expected this shit from Adin Ross, my nigga. But Drake, at least you accuse other people of botting, and then somehow this is accusing you now, and it kind of flipped itself on that nigga now. But shit, well, let's see how this lawsuit goes out in the future, and shit, I hope I can come back and react to this because man, this shit about to be big. A whole Rico charge for them niggas. But hey, if you enjoyed my reaction, I'm Amaje, and we on the road to 250. I'll see you guys in the next video.